I'm here today to show you this little device. This is my Trent Barbel dropper Mark II. Now, those of you who saw the Mark I will no doubt note that my metalwork skills have come on in leaps and bounds. I took a plumbing course a couple of years ago, and obviously working with metal as anyway, I'll show you what's involved in it. The material's 1mm perforated aluminium. Find this really easy to work with. Certainly if you get it with the bigger holes and the bigger gaps, it's much harder to shape, and if you get it any thicker, it's just overkill and you'll spend ages trying to bend it. All I do with this is I have a metal ruler, and I put it on the line where I want to bend it, put my foot, both feet on it, and pull the piece of aluminium up, and I find that gets, as you can see, reasonably square corners. The door's just cut with a hacksaw, as is the rest of the material. The back is riveted on. As you can see, the entire device is, rather than using screws, I only use a couple of screws in it or so. And that's just a square with 4 flaps on it at the back. And the clip is a D-clip that you can buy from B&Q. I think you can get all these materials from B&Q actually. The little mechanism that opens it is just a toilet flush link. And again, the two connections to the side made from some other plastic P-clips that I got from a motoring shop, but you can just as well use metal ones. I just like, because he's a PTFE, I like the idea that a little bit freer. And there we go, just got a hinge on the bottom for you, and I've screwed the lead on. And if you look inside, I've just bolted it for security. I think they're M4 screws then, not that it matters. Anyway, show you how it works. I'm going to my bathroom. I'm doing all this while my missus is out, because she would not be pleased, I'll tell you. Right, flip the lid over. I'm to do this one-handed because I'm filming at the same time. Put the mechanism over. And there we go. One open dropper. And I'm absolutely 100% positive that this will open no matter what angle it goes in the water at. I'm just going to tip it upside down because the weight's on the bottom. It always flips that way up. At first I was a bit reluctant to make them square because I thought they might lay on the side, but that's proved not to be the case. The square ones, if anything, have proved to be better. Again, the door's opened, and I could do that 100 times, and 100 times it would open. Absolutely no reservations about saying that. I think Barbel anglers have been looking for something like this for a long time. Why the manufacturers haven't come up with anything, I don't know. Tend to cater for sort of match anglers and things like that rather than us specimen boys. Flip it up, close the lid, close the mechanism, and as you can see, that's hanging down. You can put a little bit of resistance in that if you want. As long as you don't overdo it, it'll still open. It never opens in flight. You know, I've never ever had it open prematurely. And that one hasn't opened, but as you can see, the slightest little nudge, and it does. And it's always a safe bet, just to give it a little, tighten your line a little bit to it. I mean, in the river it probably isn't necessary because your line tightens anyway. I could put a weight on the door if I wanted to solve that, but I'm not concerned about it in the slightest. The mechanism's operated. I'll just show it upside down or sideways, whatever way you want. Do this one sideways. And again, oh, there we go, it's opened. Anyway, little idea one or two of you might want to have a play about with. I don't particularly like the spoppers, because my experience of them is that they release the bait slightly off bottom and a lot of it washes downstream. Now some of you might prefer that. That might be, that might be what you're after achieving, but personally I like my bait as much as possible of my bait to stay where it's put. Now inevitably some of it will wash down, but not as much as when you drop a open slightly off bottom. I'm quite pleased with it, even though I do say so myself. I'll just show you one more time on its side. There we go. The weight on it, by the way, is a 4 ounce weight that I've ripped off a feeder and just filed the lugs off. You can use anything from 3 ounce upwards. It tends to lose its efficiency if you use anything smaller than that. It's not limited to big rivers, but that's obviously what it's designed for. I have used it on small rivers, and you've got that, you've got that fail-safe mechanism that you haven't got on a normal dropper. But I tend to think it's a bit unnecessary on fishing small rivers and lowering it from the rod end. But any of you that fish rivers, big rivers, I'm sure you'll find this very, very useful. Anyway, goodbye for today. Hope you enjoyed the video.